Hey guys, today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts, opinions, and feels on Truthwitch by Susan Dennard. This is the first book in the Witchland series, and we follow two girls named Assault and Safia, and together they are thread sisters, meaning they are bound together. Safia is a truth witch, meaning she can tell when somebody is lying. Her powers are rare and unheard of, so she must keep them a secret. And Assault is a thread witch, meaning she can see different people's moods and the different things that tie people together. Together, the girls find themselves into some trouble with a blood witch, and they're on the run from him. But there's also a war on its way, and that's causing quite a bit of tension. This is such a new and innovative world that Susan Dennard built up. It is a bit hard to understand at first because the world is so complex, but you just have to keep reading and power on in order for everything to click. When things do end up clicking though, you'll be hooked on the story, trust me on that. Susan doesn't just drop information on how everything works, you really have to work in order to understand everything. I will admit I wish there was a guidebook for this book because there are just so many different types of witches. Tide witch, air witch, poison witch, earth witch, void witch, curse witch, aether witch, glamour witch, and there's so many more witches that I'm sure that I'm missing. The writing style was fantastic. It grabs you from the start and entices you. The plot was exciting. I will say that this is a very slow moving story, but I think the pace worked well for this story. We do have moments of crazy action-packed times, but we also have these calmer moments, and I found those calmer moments to be the moments when we get to know the characters and the characters really start to show who they are. And I found a lot of the character developments to be tucked away in those calmer moments. Which, speaking of the characters, they're freaking to die for, people. I finished this book a few days ago and I'm still on a high because of these characters. We've obviously got Assault and Safia and their amazing friendship, but then we've got characters like Merrick, who you're not really sure at first if you're gonna like him, but then you end up liking him. And we've got Colin and Ryber and Everane. Then we've got Aedwin, who was a character that I was really unsure about, and I'm still having really mixed feelings about him, which I'll talk a little bit more about that in the spoiler section. So those are just my brief thoughts on Truthwitch. I would highly recommend this book. You definitely need it on your radar. If you're fans of books like the Falling Kingdom series or Sarah J. Maas's Throne of Glass, I think that you would definitely like this book, so definitely check it out. I'm now going to be hopping into a spoiler section, so if you have not read this book, go read it and come back and discuss with me. If you have read this book, stay with me and let's discuss. Like with most of my book discussions, I didn't take very many notes. I need to get better at taking notes, guys. But I do have a few things that I want to talk about. First up, I want to talk about Aedwin a little bit. He's this terrifying character, but at the same time, we see these different moments of him where he does show a little bit of good, and that's why I'm having such mixed feelings about him, because on one hand, he's terrible. On the other hand, it's like, he's not too bad. He saves Assault life by giving her that cape, which I know is because she spared his life, so he was returning the favor. But still, he didn't kill her, and he could have easily done that. And he also saved Everane's life. So he's gotta be good deep down. Or at least I hope he is, because towards the end of this novel, I was just really enjoying his character. Let's talk Merrick. I was really unsure as to how I felt about Merrick when he was first introduced, but the more I started to read about him, the more I did like him. He's just kind of a little hot-headed at times, I think. I love the connection that he and Safia have together. It was this nice, slow burn romance. It wasn't overwhelming, and that's something that I really appreciated. I felt so bad for Merrick when Colin died. Oh my gosh, Colin. Still not over it. Still not over it. So sad. So sad. You kind of just think about the relationship that Assault and Safia have and how that's basically what Colin and Merrick have. I'm sure it's like being tied together and then just being ripped apart. I really want to learn more about Assault and her past. It's almost like she was raised in a cult of some sort. I feel like I need to read this book again in order to really grasp her tribe and what they're all about. But the scene when the tribe was coming at her was terrifying when they thought that she was the puppeteer. Other, hang the other, hang the other, hang the other. Tribe, you need to chill. People were like grabbing her, raking their fingernails against her cheeks. Straight up terrifying. I also really want to know more about Assault's relationship with her mother, because it kind of seems like they don't have the best relationship in the world. Another scene that I really liked with Assault was that scene with her and Aedwin on the tower, and she's like taking him down, because we really get to see kind of how Assault thinks in that moment and how she kind of calculates everything. Like how they both jump off the tower and then she kind of pivots him and he hits the ground first. I was really surprised that she didn't end up killing Aedwin right there and then. Like, I'm glad she didn't kill him, but at the same time, it would have solved a lot of problems. The adders were so scary. I think that's what they're called. I couldn't figure out if they were called the adders or the cleaved. I know that they were cleaving, but I don't know what to call them. I was a little bit confused by what they were called, but like the zombie-like things that had the acid blood, those things were terrifying. The last thing I want to talk about is this moment towards the end with Safia. At first, I was really disappointed with her and what she was doing until I realized what she had done, and I was just like, you champ, you freaking champ. But she was like, I'm going to unleash this monster inside of me, and I'm going to bend and shape the world. And then she gets shot and kidnapped, and I was just like, really, Safia? Really? But then we get to the end of the book. She had gotten Merrick his contract and won negotiations with Marstock 2. She had bent the world and shaped it into something better. freaking queen. All hail Safia. So those are my thoughts, opinions, and feels on Truthwitch by Susan Dennard. You guys should let me know down below what your favorite moment was from this book, who is your favorite characters. Also, if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so click subscribe if you want to be notified for when I post new videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye, chew. Susan doesn't just but the scene